Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like the video, make sure you share the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you. So here I have what seems to be a leaked image of the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Flashpoint Batman. And I have to say, this was a figure that I was looking very forward to, but it seems like they've made some switcheroos and alterations to what we've seen in the promo images, which I'm not happy about. Mcfarlane has done this now on two occasions that I can recall, and that is this time with Flashpoint Batman, and he's also done it with the Gold Label Collection Batman, which looks radically different from what was seen in the promo image. I do realise with a promo image this is a sort of prototype and an early way of working with this figure. However, I do not appreciate something that looks wildly different, as we can see here. Now the one on the right hand side, in my opinion, probably has a black wash over it, and ultimately I think the darker colours, probably along with the darker lighting that's also been photographed within, looks a lot better than the left hand side with a bright studio, bright picture, and what seems to be a fairly light grey. So I'm curious to see what the decision was behind that. I think you can see some of the wash coming through, particularly on the belt, as this looks completely washed out in my opinion, and along with the holsters looks completely washed out in comparison to this. These just look like red pieces of plastic, whereas this does actually look like he has been through some grime and dirt. We do see what seems to be some sort of grime, dirt, maybe some silver paint brushes on his gauntlets, which didn't really appear here. I think the all black looks a lot better. It looks less cheap in my opinion. And as we can see from the suit here, the suit does look like it's an awful lot darker within this one. But that's not the thing that really drew my eye, and this is the second time in my opinion that Mcfarlane has done this, in that he has showed a head sculpt that has been on a prototype, and then on the actual final release the head sculpt looks completely different. I'm baffled by that decision. He's done it now in the Gold Label Batman. He radically altered the head on that one. The head for the final release looks absolutely woeful in my opinion, and he seems to have put, in my opinion, a worse head on this one here than what was seen originally. Now there might be some similar details between this one and this one, but I think from looking at it here, the chin looks a lot wider. There seems to be a lot less detail going on along with the eyebrow, and overall I think the eyes look far more grimacing in his face as well too, along with the lines that are coming down along from his cheek. So as we can see here, that looks completely washed out in terms of this figure. Now it's very possible that that could be the lighting. The lighting could be playing a big factor towards that one, but I'm more skeptical after the whole scenario that we've seen with the Gold Label Batman, and I think you can agree with me on that one. So as we can see here, the details haven't really come through. There is, yes, a little bit of stubble. We do have the line on the chin. The head sculpt in itself, when you look at the cowl, looks less angry than this one over here. So I think you can notice that as well too, how angry that looks here with the different folds that we have within the cowl that would have risen over here. We seem to have another fold in the cowl here underneath the eyes, and which goes down into the mouthpiece there. I think the mouthpiece looks a lot more detailed there, but like I said, it could be lighting as well too. Lighting could be taking a major effect on that one. We do have some sort of mold lines as well too here, but ultimately I think the head sculpt on the other one looks a lot better. It could be possibly all down to lighting, very much so, and given the fact that this fella's head is turned, could maybe play a part in towards that one. But with showing the recent Mcfarlane Death Metal's Batman that had a head that did not move and the neck just moved, I would be quite concerned that this isn't quite the same as what we've seen in the previous report. Ultimately, am I going to buy this figure? Most likely yes, because I want to see a Flashpoint Batman. I'm happy with the updates to articulation that this line has seen, given that I thought that they should have had this articulation scheme from the get-go. At least they're having it now. I hope that they sort out the scale problem that seems to be within the line. Characters that are smaller than certain characters are actually taller than those characters, which really bothers me, to be honest, especially having them on a shelf. How can the Flash be taller than Batman and Superman? It's a very weird thing that I hope that he gets into line very quickly. Ultimately though, I like the way the sculpt looks on the body. I think the body looks great, but I just am not quite sure if that head sculpt is something that Mcfarlane figures have let me down with in the past. Some of the head sculpts have really let me down. The Grim Knight head sculpt, for example, I don't think is great. When you open Devastator's mouth wide enough, You can see right back into the plastic that is attaching to his head. I don't think that looks great either. I'd rather have it stop at a certain angle and that it does look like that there is a head attached to it rather than being attached to nothing. Same as well to a Mortal Kombat with the scorpion head were inside a hood that was just basically a face. So things like that, cutting corners. I do know that these molds and these toolings do cost money, but I would like to see corners not being cut on this line, given that we are spending hard-earned money on this, and that he is more than making the money back, in my opinion, with the fact that he's pushing out so much Batman characters. I do like the way there's a butterfly here on the shoulders. I do like that the shoulder is going to have some sort of joint as well too within it. It's a little bit more obtrusive than I would like. That shoulder, especially that butterfly joint, is coming out a lot further than I would like it to. It kind of breaks the look as well too from the figure. The shoulder should be a lot higher, in my opinion, should be a lot closer to the body. Why not employ something that is in Marvel Legends, for example? It's a lot more seamless, it looks a lot better, in my opinion. And then you have the body coming along here. I have to say, the torso sections for Mcfarlane figures do look decent in comparison to some other figures, and I think if he employed something maybe like the likes of G.I. Joe, or even the way he's done it here with this kind of twisting rocker, and then this here rocks down as well too below the belt, I think that looks nice. Double hinges on each one is fantastic, and I love it. Let me know what you think. Drop a like, share, subscribe. Look.